Does anyone want to play with LeBron? That's the poll question that really needs to be put out there. Does anyone want to play with LeBron before we dive into this?
Yes, sir, they do. And I'm not even like a huge LeBron fan like that, but there's a ton of people who would love to play with LeBron. You guys understand, this young generation, they look up to LeBron. They think LeBron is their GOAT. They don't know much about Jordan, and a lot of them don't even, contrary to belief, don't even know a lot about Kobe Bean Bryant because they were babies during his run as well. So a lot of these young cats would love to have the opportunity to play with LeBron. I think the bigger question is can we get a actual superstar caliber type of player right now to want to commit to playing with LeBron right now at this current point of his career? Let's call it what it is. He has 2-3 years left that we feel confident in. I mean, they're talking about a 3-year deal. I think
40,
I know something. He's 40. So I mean, 2 years. I'm thinking. I don't know how much more time does he have left to play. I think that's the bigger issue than not wanting to play with LeBron himself. It's more so the age and how long is he going to be there.
Well, you started off saying I'm a walking contradiction.
Yep.
You said that they want to play with LeBron. Who? Because
young
Clay
cats
don't. Clay signed somewhere else. DeRozan don't, because apparently.
We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet.
Donovan Mitchell don't. Paul George don't. I'm trying to figure out what stars are left. There ain't no more stars. His own homie don't. CP2 could have went for the minimum. And LeBron threw it out there in the universe that I will play for less money. I want to sacrifice. I want to win now. I made the organization draft my son. I need to win now, not in 3 years. I won't be around. My son needs to be on this team now. That's the whole push on this, Smitty. Ain't nobody coming. Let me just tie in. Let's just talk brass tacks. We live in L.A.
Yep.
LA's taxes are one of the highest in the country. The poverty level, the rent, mortgage, groceries, gas, inflation, traffic, pollution.
Everything's at all-time high.
State and Fed taxes,
right?
Property taxes, you name it. Does someone really want to come to LA and play here with all that you're seeing every day? That's number one. I'm not even going to talk about LeBron yet. Let's just talk about LA maybe crippling the Lakers franchise as well. I even thought about USC and UCLA maybe losing out because parents and families don't want to send their kids to LA when knowing their NIL money will be taxed in LA.
Interesting.
So there's a bigger picture here that I don't believe a lot of people are talking about. Number one. Number two, I'm curious to see if somebody really wants to go play with a 40-year-old aging veteran legend in LeBron, his son who was drafted by this organization, and then a rookie head coach. That has to weigh on.
Don't forget about Anthony Davis, though. He's still there, too.
Yeah, he's there. The guy that's hurt. I mean, you're probably looking at it as a guy, is he going to play? Is AD going to be really around? There's a lot of questions in L.A., dog. I don't know. So I heard that D'Lo was offered for Klay Thompson in a sign-in trade.
The Warriors didn't want to do it.
And they offered $30 million more than the Mavericks.
The Warriors didn't want to do it, though. So that's different. The Warriors, from what I read from Chris Haynes,
they didn't want to do the sign trade.
They didn't want to do the sign trade. They didn't want to bring D'Lo back.
Yeah.
They already went through that experience. They didn't want to bring him back.
But Lakers offered $30 more million to Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's daddy, Michael Thompson, is a legend there. He's still calling games. Why would you not want to go there to where the organization that your daddy played for? The organization that just drafted someone's son in LeBron James and Bronny.
Because he's trying to win, JB.
Well,
it's not just storyline. It's not just storyline. But hold on. The initial conversation was about LeBron. But we're talking about the Lakers just aren't good enough to win.
But that's my point.
That's what it is. It's not about just LeBron. It's just the team itself ain't good enough anymore. LeBron is still a good player, but he's not where he was.
So
he's probably top 10. He ain't for the longest. LeBron was the best player in the league. Number one, it wouldn't even question. Now we're talking about is he top 10, is he top 7?
But
still a good player, but he ain't that good.
The whole question is, does anyone want to play with LeBron? No. You said yeah. Now you're saying no.
No. What I'm saying is the Lakers as a team isn't. You're making it singular focus as if it's just people don't like LeBron, like it's a personal attack, or like people don't like his character. People don't think he can play. No, the Lakers team again was a play-in team last year. Let's not forget, and got swept in the first round. So if I'm a competitor, again, you leave for multiple reasons. Yeah. You leave for money. You leave because, again, you're just unhappy with your current organization. You leave because you want to go to a situation where you can win and have legacy. The Lakers aren't offering the most money in most cases. They're not showing you that they're ready to win and be true championship contenders. So, like, again, if I'm a guy like a Klay Thompson, I want to go to the team that I'm like, you know what? The Mavs were just in the finals. You got Luka Doncic. We can say whatever you want to say about him. He's a top five player in this league, and he's under 25 or right at 25 years old. Kyrie is aging, but still at a point where he's still really good player in this league as well. Jason Kidd, still younger coach, but again, has shown a lot of success. Again, if I'm a competitor, you talked about yesterday, we had a whole argument about Chris Paul. Why do you go to an actual contender? Klay Thompson wants to go to a contender, and right now the Mavs are a much bigger and better contender than the Lakers. If I'm Paul George, going to Philly makes perfect sense.
Why didn't CP2 go there, though? That's his homeboy.
I don't think Lakers
play for the minimum.
I don't think
Lakers are far ahead of the San Antonio Spurs.
No. I'm saying I don't think Lakers were going to pay him what the Spurs paid him.
He didn't get shit. He got a league minimum.
Now, he got more than league minimum.
I don't think so, dog.
I think it was like we had to look it up, the exact numbers, but it was more than league minimum. I don't think Lakers would have paid him what the Spurs paid him.
What is it called, exemption or the veteran league minimum? I think is different than the league minimum, but
I think that was a money move, honestly, for Chris Paul. That's what I'm saying. There's so many factors that are just beyond and bigger than just players don't want to play with LeBron. Okay, maybe that's part of it. Maybe some guys don't want to, but I think it's bigger than that.
1 year, $11 million deal. Come on. Lakers would have signed him for that.
I don't think so because, again, LeBron said, I'm taking a pay cut. I would be willing to take a pay cut only if you guys sign like a major guy. So that money, they're not about to spend 11 of that on Chris Paul, who at this point in his career.
They haven't got anybody.
Of course, that's hindsight. But I'm saying at the point in which Chris Paul signed and at the point in which LeBron said, you know what, I'll take a pay cut, they were hoping and praying that Clay would still be an option. They were hoping and praying that Paul George would still be an option. Why take $11 million of that off the table? Give it to CP3 when we don't even know how much money we would need for Clay and Paul George.
I'll be honest, though. Klay Thompson, I wasn't, excited. Klay Thompson is a figment of who he was. He had flashes last year, but really, to be honest, they put him on the bench for a reason. He's never been the same after the injury. He's just not the same, dog.
Right. That's
really
true.
That's who we really were putting all our eggs in one basket for. As a Laker organization, as a Laker fan, I'm looking for Klay Thompson as a figment of himself. Nah.
Yeah.
Who can the Lakers get? Who's out there? Who can they get? Paul George was like, I'm out of LA, the taxes, and I'm from LA, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm going to Philly. Clay was left. DeRozan's out there. Donovan Mitchell just signed today with the Cleveland.
That's who I want. I ain't gonna lie.
They're not getting nobody. I don't know. This Lakers shit, dog, is bad. I'm telling you right now. And now you're gonna pay a 40-year-old a 3-year max contract and get nobody.
Well, the Lakers organization, man. We want to win. Lakers, they want to win. But if winning's not really on the table, the next best option for them is selling tickets and storyline and doing. So they're going to, if they can't go get a superstar, they're going to pay LeBron his max. They're going to put Bronny on the court at some point, maybe not at the beginning of the season, but at some point, and they're going to just put butts in seats, JB. That's what Lakers, it's the Showtime Lakers and all that. That's what it is.
Let me ask you something concerning Klay Thompson.
Yep.
Clay, to me, has been a great, humble, fucking warrior in the
literally,
sense of not only a Golden State warrior, a real warrior, in my opinion. I think he got done wrong in Golden State. That's just me. I think he looked at them like, fuck you. I could have re-signed, and then they want to throw me retire my jersey and all that shit. I don't think he gives a fuck. I think he said, pay me because you fucks paid a guy who has socked a player on film, who has pushed a coach on film, who has choked out people in games, who has been suspended more than anybody in the NBA, who has put their team on the back burner. basically at least for the last 3 years, if not longer, in Draymond Green. You gave him $100 million guaranteed. And you almost paid Andrew Wiggins the same money. Or you did pay Andrew Wiggins the same money from the previous playoff run that he had, which he was perimeter, great on defense. He was a scorer late in the season when they went on that Boston run, right?
Yeah.
But still, you pay him and Draymond over Clay, the original. Like, remember, Clay was the original
Splash Brother, yeah.
but he was the original, right?
What you mean by that?
He was the first drafted cat there, right? He was there first, right?
I'm not for sure.
I'm pretty sure he was there before Steph, correct? Am I wrong, Bailey? Can you check that?
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I literally don't know.
I want to make sure. Can you check that, Bailey? I believe Clay was there, and Clay was the one that started building up. Remember, he went through the shitty transition and all that. Clay is the original from what I understand. Some people say it's him. Some people say it's Steph. I don't know.
Regardless, they were all drafted around the same time.
But what I'm saying is he is the original piece of this pie, and then you get a $100 million guarantee to Draymond. Has to be a slap in the face to me.
But if I'm not mistaken, Klay Thompson has already. We're talking like they didn't pay Clay. Like his last contract that just ended wasn't like 140 M's if I'm not mistaken. His last deal. He got paid. It was a 4-year deal, and 2 of those years he was hurt. Now, I get stuff happens, but again, the greatest ability is availability. 2 of those years he was out for an Achilles, and he was out for an ACL. And like you alluded to, he has not been the same since then. And unfortunately, this last year was a contract year, and you're only as good as what
Steph was first. Clay was second.
I figure so. You're only as good as what you put on tape. Most recently, Clay, like you said, he's solid. He's not like bad, but he's nowhere near worth a max deal. Draymond got that $100 million guarantee or whatever prior to a lot of this extra shit. Now, again, we know Draymond's been getting texts and doing all types of stuff like that, but this past year, we can all agree was like a different level. He's choking out Rudy Gobert. He punching. He doing all types of shit.
But they paid him after he socked boy. Remember, he got paid last year. He got paid after he socked, what's his name?
Jordan Poole.
To me, that's a slap in Clay's face. I'm just telling you, like, if you're going to talk after the fact and say we're loyal to you, Clay, because that's what they just said yesterday. We're loyal to you. Thank you for everything you've done. We're going to hang your banner, blah, 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 blah. Why didn't you pay him?
But word on the street is, again, from what I'm hearing, they offer this man more money than what the Mavs are offering him, and he took less for that too. He could have got more with the Lakers. From what I'm hearing, he could have got more with Golden State. He was so fed up, he said, fuck it, I'm out.
Because of how they treated him. That's what I'm saying. Over the last couple of years, it's easy to come retrospectively say, oh, I know I'm
But
pissed.
they shouldn't even did that, though.
But here's the thing,
though. It's straight business.
Here's the thing, though. I know you're pissed at me. My homie's pissed at me. Now I'm going to go try to make up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Clay already knows. Nah, I'm not. It's too late, homie.
But
you put me behind these other cats who put our organization at risk. Because if you remember when Draymond was doing all this dumb shit, Clay and fucking Steph were the only two that would check him on the sideline and be like, what the fuck you doing? And you saw their face in disgust. Clay and Steph's face was in disgust. And I'm hearing from a couple people that Steph is like hot. Because I'm sure that those two kind of, you could tell, were pretty tight. I mean, they always stayed out of harm's way. They always stayed out the limelight. They kind of was like always free living, chilling. You see them at the boat, fishing, whatever. They never were in drama. Yeah, but I think the whole big three were tight. I think because Draymond is, again, we actually agree on it. Draymond was one of the most important pieces, if not the most important piece, in my opinion, outside of Steph, for a lot of those championships because of all the little things that he does and the connection him and Steph has when it comes to just finding him open and giving him the ball at the right time and those picks, just those hustle things that he's done. So again, the Golden State Warriors, they put up with a lot of BS that came with him because of how vital he was to that team. He reminds me a lot of like the Rasheed Wallace back in his days, with the Pistons. The good outweighed the bad for so long. And to Draymond's point, again, he actually played well on the court this year. Now, again, all the other stuff it got distracted. He played well. He shot better from three-point line than he's done in a long time in his career. I just think it gets overshadowed because of all the other stuff. So, like, Draymond's actually doing what Draymond has always done. Clay has not. So it's like, again, I understand that you are one of our
first guys, and the narrative, we love you, Clay, and I get those are all emotions, but this is business at the end of the day. And like we all have eyes, and I love Clay, but he's not the same guy anymore. Why am I gonna get you a max right now? Now listen, if Draymond's contract was up like right now again, let's say this last season was Draymond's last year, right? And Draymond was in the same position. They're not paying Draymond. They're not paying Draymond. Well, they're not paying what he wants. But what I'm saying is so timing is very important, is what I'm saying. Clay, his contract came up after having a pretty bad season for his standards and after having 2 injured seasons prior to that. So it's just like your last 3 years have been like, damn, it's been low. How can we pay you?
Here's the thing, though. I don't want to hear about California taxes and all this shit. Last time I checked, Golden State's in California.
Yes, sir.
So, come on, dog. What's his name? Iguodala? He just talked about this yesterday. He just talked about it. Players no longer in their twilight of their career chase rings anymore. They chase bags of money. This is particularly why Gilbert Arenas and Iguodala and these other guys like Barkley, these older heads, have said this is why the game isn't as competitive and how it's softened.